So you want to get seriously flexible. You want to nail the middle splits, the pancake, the back bridge. And more importantly, you have our mobility masterclass to get there. And you want to know, how do I put it into my weekly workouts? How do I pair it with things? We're going to answer that and more so that you know what to do. What's up, everyone? In case we haven't met, my name's Rad Burmeister. I am one of the co-founders of Unity Gym and co-creators of the UMS, the Unified Movement System, where we turn driven people into superhumans. And the way we get such astonishing results with our members is that we have created a program that has a perfect balance between strength and flexibility. If you want to know how we do that, download one of the free blueprints, the Flexibility Blueprint, the Strength Blueprint, or the Nutrition Blueprint. There's a link in the description of this video. As always, I'm joined by Phil White, our resident physiotherapist. How are you, bro?
Very well. Really it was nice to hear some really positive feedback, and we'll get to maybe an exciting reveal about how that feedback came through.
Stop it.
Later on. But I had a killer weekend, played a lot of beach volleyball, got out surfing for the first time in a while. Feeling good, ready for another week.
Oh, yeah. Now, for those of you that didn't know, Yanni and I have relaunched our weekly flash sales. We've finally got a little bit of time now that these renovations are coming back, and people really love them because it gives you guys an insanely discounted price of some of our best programs. They're always about 90% discount. So it's a way for those of you that haven't yet built enough trust with us to want to jump into our online coaching program, to get in, try out our stuff, and see if it's as good as what all our 5-star Google reviews say. This week, well, actually only for about another 24 hours, you can get the Mobility Masterclass, which is a bundle to teach people how to learn the middle splits, the front splits, the back bridge, and the pancake, the standard movements for gymnastics and calisthenics. A bunch of other programs in there. But we've had a really good question from someone that's just purchased the program and started delving into the videos, because there's a lot of really cool stuff in there. Our programs are not short of content. In fact, we often get told there's too much. People get confused. So Katie Ram, I have to watch out I don't get too close to the mic when I say this. Katie Ram has said, "Hi guys, just by the way, when I finish this question, do you want to go to the live video so we can see what people are doing?"
That's exactly what I'm going to do.
That's the plan. See, Phil, mate, this is why they paid this guy the big bucks. So Katie Ram has said, "Hi guys, I bought this bundle as I'm keen to improve my hip and shoulder mobility after injuries to both a couple of years ago. The main reason is to improve functional strength as well as compound lifts in the gym that I'm plateauing at due to poor range of movement. I have started on the bridge class, but I'm a bit confused about how to use the program to the best effect. Should the 3 movements, pancake, split, and bridge, be practiced together? How do you know when it's time to move on from workout 1 to workout 2? And how do you fit it in your regular routine at the gym? What does anyone else do? Any suggestions would be welcome." So great questions, Katie, and I'm really happy to answer them for you on this show. The first one I'm going to address is, do you do the workouts together? How do you get them done? And I would recommend that you don't do the workouts together. I did do the workouts together when I started, and I know that in the tutorial video I say you can either do all of these together and it'll take you about 2 hours or an hour and 45 minutes, or you can do them individually. Now that I've gotten a lot more flexible than I was when I first created that program, I definitely know from firsthand experience and seeing what's happened with our tribe that to get the best results, you want to treat these like a workout, just like you would with weightlifting, which means ideally you would rest 48 to 72 hours before doing the same workout again. I've been talking for a while. Have you got anything you want to chime in on?
No, I think that really fits in with exactly what we've been talking about for the last couple of months on this topic.
Yep.
Like with your mobility, that low-level mobility that you do every day is, perfectly safe and good to do every day. But when it comes to really breaking through plateaus, then you need that higher intensity. But
because these are real workouts, and you're doing eccentric and isometric loading of the muscles, so the muscles become fatigued, and just like any time the muscles become fatigued, you need to rest them before you do the same load to them again.
Yep.
If you want to avoid getting things like tendinopathy and whatever else. So that's the first thing.
And before we go on, for anyone who is watching live, then if you can get some questions in early now, then we can get to you before we...
before we finish up. Yeah, any questions that you have about anything, but, it'd be great if it was about flexibility, because that's what we're talking about, but anything we'll help you with. So that's the first thing. So ideally, how would it look? Look, in the perfect world, if you could train 6 days a week like I do, you would do your... Your pancake on Monday and Thursday, your middle splits on Tuesday and Friday, and your back bridge on Wednesday and Saturday. Now, you don't have to do those workouts on those days. I just chose those ones. So, but if you can't do that, if you can't train 6 days a week, that's totally fine. What I would recommend is choose the one that you want to develop the most, that's your priority, and try and get that one done twice a week, and try and do the other 2 once a week. So that'll give you 4 days a week of training. And if you can't do that, either get rid of one of the ones that you don't want to work on at all, focus on 2 of them, or do all of them just once a week. That'll still give you a really good result, as long as you're getting the volume in each workout. And then I'm going to lead on to the next thing. The next thing that you need to understand is that everything within those workouts falls under the category of stretching or flexibility training. What you want to do on your day, on every day actually, is 5 to 10 minutes of mobility training. And mobility training, great examples of mobility training, is everything that is in the Ultimate Warm-Up Routine, which is one of the freebie add-ons that we included in this bundle. So you've got access to it, the Ultimate Warm-Up Routine. Those are mobility exercises, and that routine itself is perfect to do daily for daily mobility, to solidify your gains, solidify your flexibility gains, and prevent regression. So that's a really, really important thing to understand. You will not get nearly as good results if all you do are these workouts from Monday to Saturday, or however many days a week you do. You also need to do mobility training. So in the UMS online coaching, we have a couple of other routines that we do, but that's a really, really good one if that's all you've got access to. Another really good mobility routine is the 18-minute stretching routine for anybody that has that. That is it's just an amazing mobility routine. It's so good. So, these are movements where you're not holding stretches, you're not holding in a position for a long period of time, you're not putting much load on the muscles at all, but you're taking the joints through their full range of motion. Anything
so
you
for
wanna add?
someone who's following the UMS program, and just like we do here in the gym, how would you, work the middle splits progressions and pancakes progressions into
Your training?
regular training? Yeah.
Perfect. Great question. And even Katie, I'm presuming that you don't have the UMS online coaching program because your questions would be answered in that. So I'm going to presume that this is the only program of ours that you've got, and I'll answer it the same way as to what you just asked. If for those of you that have the UMS program and you're doing this, how do you put it together? What we've found, there are 2 ways, okay, and there's the way to get the best results, and then there's the way that 999 out of 1,000 people can actually fit into their lives. And the way to get best results would be to do 2 separate workouts a day. So you do a strength workout in the morning, and then you do a flexibility workout in the evening. Even myself and my brother Yanni and Richard, who are gym owners and professional trainers, found that was just too much time. It was too demanding. We found that we were often just completely exhausted and put in a really mediocre effort in that second workout. So what we've found, but it is probably the best way to get the best results, because for strength training to get the best results, it is definitely best to do a set and then just sit there and rest.
Practicalities on that for you. What are your thoughts on which are the optimal days when you're doing, my inclination would be to try and get your heavy sort of leg sessions, like mobility or stretching for your legs, I guess would not be too close to when you're doing lower body strength sort of sessions.
Yeah. I think, and so now we'll go deeper into your question. So the best way that I find that to get the best results and to actually for people to fit it into their lives is to do it all in the one workout, and to do lower body stretching when you're doing upper body strength training in between sets, and upper body stretching when you're doing lower body strength training. And I'll explain how that works. So if you're doing so Katie, your question, you said you're trying to get better at big lifts. So I'm guessing you're talking about squat, bench, deadlift, potentially overhead press, pull-ups, bent over row, but usually people are referring to squat, bench, and deadlift when they say that. I really hope that you're pairing your bench with bent over row or with some type of rowing, so you're giving a 1-to-1 push-pull. And if you don't, then we need to have another conversation. And the way you would do it is on a deadlift session, you'll be doing your back bridge or up or shoulder mobility work, and you'll do it. The way that the program is worked, the back bridge or all of the programs, it says it's listed in order of priority. So there's like A1 and A2 exercises and B1 and B2 and then C1. So the A1 and A2s are designed to be paired just like in a strength workout. So ideally, let's talk about a squat workout. If you're doing squat workouts the way most people that we've learned from and that we like to follow program them, you pair your squats with hamstrings. That's how we do it. So your A1 will be a squat and your A2 will be a hamstring.
Strengthening, just to be really clear.
Yeah, that's right. Strengthening exercises, that's right. So the way that we use the Mobility Masterclass is we also have an A1 and A2 flexibility. And I haven't looked at the program for a little while, but I'm pretty sure that A1 and A2 for the back bridge is something to do with the pec release and also the thoracic extension. So what you do is you do your A1 squat and then your A1 pec release, and then you do your A2 hamstring curl, and then A2 thoracic extension. And then you would repeat until you've done the set amount of sets that your program is saying. And that's going to vary from person to person and program to program.
Nice. Just to pause before we go on, shout out to Craig Jenkins, who's finally watching the live. So now you're here awesome. Live. Get some questions in.
Yeah, get some questions in, brother. Welcome to the show, Craig. So then the splits and the pancake, that the same thing goes for upper body movements. Now, the way that we do the UMS program is we actually have 4 upper body days a week and only 2 lower body days. And the reason why is because we just want to be jacked in our upper bodies, and we love that.
And it's working.
Yeah, we love that, look where you've got all the muscles up top and chicken legs down the bottom. No, it's not for that at all. It's because we have 2 bent arm strength days, which is what most people would call typical upper body strength training, which is any movement that involves bending the elbow. So that's all your typical weightlifting movements, push and pull, but also bicep and tricep. But then we have straight arm strength training movements, which are movements that involve keeping the elbows completely locked and controlling the muscles, training the muscles that control scapular movement. Very, very different to traditional, weightlifting workouts.
Yeah, and it is still training your elbow bending muscles, but in an isometric sort of way, which when you're trying to do calisthenics, it's really important to have strong triceps and biceps, but they've got to be working in a very different way than you typically would with bent arm strength.
But the straight arm strength workouts definitely have a less of a hypertrophying effect on the big muscles in the upper body. So it definitely doesn't turn people into these. And you can just look at Richard Yanni or me or Phil and see that we don't have that kind of physique where we have the chicken legs going on. So we have 4 days within the UMS program where we can do middle splits or pancake or whatever it is. So that's the way that we program it. So let's go back to your question, Katie, because we've just rambled on a lot. How do you do it? I recommend pairing it with your strength training days. I recommend doing each of the movements no more than twice a week. If you can't train 6 days a week, then choose the ones that you want to do the most. Do those twice a week with a 3-day break between them. Do the back bridge workouts with lower body strength training and vice versa, and do the stretching in between the sets of your strength training. It will make your workout only marginally longer, because if you're training properly for strength, you should be resting anywhere from 90 to 180 seconds or 100.
Or if you are really going big on powerlifting, then you can stretch out your workouts a bit longer, then if you extend your rest periods, then you'll be able to lift heavier. In the powerlifting gym I used to train at, they had a couch in the gym and a cafe, so you just have a coffee and sit down 10 minutes between sets.
People would, Bass and the boys would be resting for like 7 minutes or so.
7 to 12 minutes.
So really 12 minutes sometimes.
Rest. When you're really going really heavy. So it depends on what your goals are. But the way we do it in the UMS is we do basically the rest period that you have is how long it takes you to do your stretching. And then because you're doing opposing muscle groups, so let's say if I do a set of bench press and then I go over and I do a set of Jefferson curl, that
and curl will take me maybe 60 seconds to do a set. Then I go and do a set of bent over row, and then I do another set of Jefferson curl or another lower body stretch. By the time I get back to my bench, it's been about 3 to 4 minutes since I did bench before, and there's plenty of time. So it works out really well. It's a very well thought out
efficient
system. Yeah, so efficient. So I get...
And it's such a shock to the system going from powerlifting rest periods to coming in.
Yeah. You're out of breath.
Yeah,
and
totally.
you really, like, you sweat. And if you watch me when I train, I'm not like I'm running out of breath, but like that through the workout, there is no sitting still. And it's a real, Katie, it's a real shock to the system for a lot of people, because a lot of people think of a strength training workout where I really just sit down and do nothing between my sets. But I am yet to meet somebody that isn't a professional athlete that has the time to do enough strength training and enough flexibility training when you train that way, which is the luxury of just being able to chill and relax and chat between sets. So if you want to get this balance, this beautiful balance between strength and flexibility, I think that's the best way to do it. Anything you want to add, Phil? No. Yeah, and we've tried and tested this. This is something that we do ourselves. This is not me just saying, "Oh, hey, this is how I think you should do it. I do it differently," but this is how I do exactly how I do my workouts.
Your results are pretty good.
Yeah. I mean, I do have pretty good results. I'm pretty strong and I'm pretty flexible, and don't ever move further towards one than the other. They both build up together at the same time, which is pretty cool. And I can do some cool skills as well. So what was the third part to the question? Do you remember? So we've answered the...
Let me get back to it.
Let's have a look here. Katie, I'm pretty sure there was a third part to your question, and I'm just going to see what it is. Yeah, Phil's just...
taking my sweet time.
Struggling with his new computer here. Okay, that was it. Was it? Yeah, there it is. Yeah, just open it up. Should the 3 movements be practiced together? How do you know? Okay, how do you know when it's time to move out from workout 1 to workout 2? That depends on the individual. And in all honesty, the way that I achieved my initial results with flexibility before I started moving into end range strength training, which is all included in the program that you've got, is that I moved between workout 1 and workout 2 multiple times. So I didn't just do one and then leave it behind. It was just a little bit of, there's only some subtle changes between them. You'll notice there's some exercise that are repeated in both. So what I would do is I would do the one workout at least until you feel like you have your head wrapped around it and you are doing the movements correctly, or 8 weeks, whatever comes first. So meaning don't go longer than 8 weeks without changing, and don't go less than the amount of time that you think, oh, okay, I feel like I'm doing this, like I've got an idea. Like, don't change when you're still sitting there going, oh my God, how do I do this movement? Oh, let's go and do the next workout. And if you want a simpler answer to that, if you just want to really not think about it at all, 6 to 8 weeks. Change every 6 to 8 weeks.
Yeah, but I guess depending on where you are through your journey of mobility and how intensely you've done stretching before, I'd really, as we've talked about so much before, recommend just a slow ramp onto getting started with your mobility work like this. If you're training to the point where you got to find that balance between getting that discomfort but not going into pain, where you're getting pain the next day. So with all of this, just like ramp up into it. If you've had a background of being a dancer or a gymnast or something like that, where you've used to it, you can make that ramp a whole lot steeper and get into it harder much earlier. But yeah, if you're new to it, especially if you've got big strength goals where you're putting your body under a lot of load from a few different directions, then as you've talked about, you've had some injuries in the past, so just ease into it.
Yep. Now pay very close attention to this, guys. This here is a key insight from today's show, so listen in. Our programs have a lot of content in them, and they are designed intentionally so that people with the highest level of commitment will have all that they need in order to achieve great results. Do not let that deter you. Remember, the program is not about you either do it all or nothing. That is not how you should be approaching this. If you cannot do all of what I say I do in the program, or for example, just describing that this is a 6-day-a-week program, that does not mean that you do nothing. In the same way that when you look at an entire workout, and this entire flexibility workout, if you do it at a decent pace, would take you close to an hour. If you think, oh my God, I don't have time to do that much, that doesn't mean you do nothing. Start from the top, do as much as you can do. If you only get through half the program, do that as much as you can until you look at it and think, you know what, I'm wrapping my head around this now. I think I can add a little bit more. And there's multiple ways you can go about that. You can reduce the amount of sets of each exercise and try and get through the whole thing but less sets, or you can just chop off the last couple of exercises and just get the first few exercises done, because something is better than nothing. Version 1 is better than version none. So, and I can guarantee you that that's how I got to where I am now. And you know what? I got there without even having a coach like myself or Yanni or Phil or Richard guiding me. I really did. I went to workshops with people that knew far more than me, but over 2 days had to jam my head full of information and then try to figure out how I can apply that into my daily work. And I've spent years and years and years refining this into a program that we can now give to you guys and say, hey, do this and you'll get there. So you've got it so much easier than I did. Just start from the top, do the best you can do. If you don't get through it all, hey, no problem. Post a question in the group. Say, hey, this is what I did. What do you think I should do to change? And we'll jump in there and let you know. But do not turn yourself away from this just because you look at it and think, oh my God, I can't do that.
Speaking of workshops, what's going on this week?
Speaking of workshops, I'm glad you brought it up, Phil. Well, the last thing I'm going to say is real quick. If you don't have the Mobility Masterclass yet, you've got about 24 hours left to get it at $49, normally $149, but it includes 3 other programs, all worth $99. So it's $446 value for $49. I think that's about a 90% discount. And if you go to the UMS Movement Mastermind, just click the link there and grab that special. Our sale durations are very strict. We do not offer them. I think that it completely throws mud in the eye of the people that jumped on the sale if I give this to anybody after the timer is done. So once it's done, that's it.
Quick shout out to Paul Marsh. Thanks for the nice comment.
Yeah. Thanks for the comment, brother. So workshops this weekend and next weekend. We have some kick-ass workshops. This is obviously only going to benefit you if you are in Australia and you can get to Sydney.
Well, not so much, because you'll be able to watch some interesting
exactly
live
right.
shows
Yeah,
coming
will.
up during the week where we have some guests around.
That's true. So my flexibility coach, the guy that teaches me, is coming to Sydney, to Unity Gym, to teach a workshop for all the way from Belgium. I am super, super excited. So this Saturday, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m., it is $200 if you are in Sydney. None of that goes to us. That's all for him, for his flights and accommodation and everything, so he can come out here. And it's a ridiculously cheap price to play for a world-class coach. I tried to tell him he needs to charge more, but he wanted to keep it low so that more people could come. So, that's an amazing opportunity. And I'm pretty sure he's going to be in the gym training with us and doing these daily live shows from Wednesday onwards. So we're going to get in Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. If not, it'll definitely be Thursday and Friday. And I'm very excited for that, because that guy has taught me some revolutionary concepts that are included in the Mobility Masterclass, the end range strength stuff. And I'm just really keen.
And what's his name for people who want to check him out?
His name is Joachim Hilderson, but if you want to have a look on Instagram, I'm pretty sure it's last name, first name, so it's Hilderson Joachim on Instagram.
Just have a look at our Instagram if you can't spell that.
Yeah, that's right. On our Instagram, we got a couple of posts of him in the last 3 or 4 posts. And the next one, equally as big, equally as exciting, is Simonster Strength, also known as Simon Atta, and Fitness FAQs, also known as Daniel Vadnal, are coming to do their bodyweight blueprint calisthenics workshop on Saturday and Sunday next weekend. Those guys are some of the best calisthenics people in the world.
And both are physiotherapists.
Both physiotherapists. Yeah, you would be excited. Yeah. And again, they're going to be coming on Friday to the gym to train with us, to film some awesome content, to do a podcast. We're probably going to go overtime on a couple of those podcasts and live shows. We'll probably just sit down and talk until we run out of things to talk about, because, having people like that on the show is, a once in a however opportunity.
Sure.
And that's about it, guys.
And before we do, I'm very excited because over the weekend I got a little notification
Oh, here we go.
on my phone saying that I had a voice message on my podcast app. So big thank you to Grace, who we did the live show for last week. If you go back, it was 1 or 2 episodes ago. We did an episode for her about how you get started with when you're feeling a bit overwhelmed. And she posted a message. She recorded a voice message that came through on Anchor. And yeah, it was a really lovely message, really just said some very nice things, and sounds like she got a lot out of it. She got a lot out of the analogy of when you have a goal that, just picturing it up on top of a high wall, and then the idea of just running into that wall over and over again without building the steps of progress. Yeah. I was really glad that resonated, and a few things that Rad said as well. She did a bit of a shout out. So big thank you to Grace. And we were having a bit of a chat about what that secret prize that I kept talking about for the first person who did it would be. And because Grace is nearby, well, close enough to come in by the sounds of it, what we decided on was we'd give her a free 28 days of training, 28-day intensive training
program,
at the gym.
Valued at $295.
Yep, and a free session with me to get her started, making sure technique's all good and checking off any little...
So that's a total of about $450 value, Grace.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
So,
and you get to work with some okay coaches along the way.
So good on you for being the person who wanted to find out what that special prize was. Hope it was what you were hoping for.
Yeah. Yes, Craig, she does get a prize. So Craig has said, just one more question. In the UMS, in the UMS Foundation program, and it says do testing week before every cycle after phase 4. Rad. In that most awesome live sesh you did in response to my question, sorry, Phil's moving this computer in front of me. In my question a few weeks back, watched it again and it was great. You said that I should start the testing week at the start of my current phase 4 program. So do it at the start. Thanks. Yes, Craig, absolutely. The idea of testing week is so that we uncover the imbalances in your body and the areas that you need to focus on the most, which you then do for the next cycle of your program. The more correct way to say it would be you do testing week at the end of your current cycle. That's the way it's programmed. We do 6-week cycles and testing week is week 6. Week 1 is when we start the new program. So you're starting your new mesocycle. But the way that the brain would be perceiving it for you is, yes, you do your testing week first and then you do your first cycle like that. We are currently in week 3. So just... for the time being, if I was you, what I would be doing is for the next 3 weeks, I would be doing the testing week movements as a workout. So you're basically going to be doing a circuit Monday to Friday of 3 exercises and do high volume, man. If you've got the time, do 5, 6, 7, 8 sets of each of those exercises with the only goal to get good technique and to understand how to do those movements properly. Continue to do your stretching in between sets. Don't worry that each day would mean you're doing upper body and lower body strength training. Don't worry about that for the next couple of weeks. It's all going to be about learning. And then when we do testing week next so today is the start of week 3, week 4, 5, 6. So in 3 weeks from today, you'll be really ready for it. You'll know those movements really, really well. And I guarantee you that will be better for you in the coming 3 to 6 months than if you did anything else than that. That'll be a really good use of your time, man. I hope that helps. Let me know in the comments there if you've got any other questions. But actually, we're actually out of time today.
Yeah.
So,
Wrap it up.
Wrap it up. Wrap it up, guys. You've literally got 24 hours left to get this Mobility Masterclass bundle. If you want to jump in, grab it. We offer a 30-day money-back guarantee. If you don't like it for any reason, even if you just don't like having me as a coach, let us know and we'll refund your money. And we will see you tomorrow. What are we doing tomorrow? I feel like we had something that we were doing tomorrow.
Watch this space. It's going to be good.
Watch this space. There is something big. There's some big stuff coming this week. Well, yeah, we're not going to announce that yet, Yanni. There's some big stuff coming this week. Just you wait and see. Oh, yeah, we got 20,000 subscribers on YouTube. 20,000. Woo! Party! Burger Monday. Whenever we hit a milestone, we all go and have a burger for as a celebration. So Yanni, Phil and me go across to the Gourmet Cafe. Richard goes to Hungry Jack's. But But no, I'm
And
just
because
joking.
it's 20,000, we're getting 20 burgers.
Yeah,
So
we're
it's
going to
good.
get 20 burgers. Woo! No, but that's a huge milestone
Yeah.
for us. So thank you to everybody that follows us on YouTube. If you don't follow us on YouTube, you're missing out. Follow us on YouTube.
Yeah.
And yeah, the
What are
mid.
they missing? They're missing our
Well,
weekly
you're
workouts.
missing our weekly workouts. Yeah, they're really good videos. The last one that I posted 6 days ago has had 5,200 views, which is huge for us. And it's an amazing workout. So thank you, guys. Thank you for watching. Thank you for the love. Thank you for everything that you do to make us be able to do
Yeah.
what we do.
Thanks for listening to the podcast. Makes me feel really
Yeah. That's right.
Yeah,
that's right.
we got over 1,500 listens now, so it's moving along nicely. So
Yeah.
thanks.
But I can tell you that we are doing something very special to celebrate 20,000 YouTube followers, and we are going to reveal that tomorrow. So see you later, guys. Have a great day.
Health is about performance, not just body image.
You better be willing to accept what you're going to have to do to get there.
We'll start focusing on movement goals, strength goals, flexibility goals.
When you nail that skill, it's there forever.
The body image goal doesn't get you that
It's the
far.
consistency and frequency that's going to get you there. It's not the intensity.
There's no shortcuts to mastery and movement. Destination doesn't change overnight, but your direction will.
The gym is not the place to beat up the body that you hate. It's the place to build the body that you love.
We are the gym that teaches people how to move instead of just exercise, because we believe that health is about performance, not just body image.